Welcome to Kingdom Matters Media. Subscribe now. God bless you.
Our popularity was as raving as her deaths. The death of the late popular gospel artist Osinachi has stirred up the debate over abusive marriage on social media. The police have arrested the husband of the late popular gospel artist Peter Nwachukwu over her death. According to reports, the Dunamis International lead singer passed away at a hospital after receiving treatment due to severe chest pain sustained by domestic abuse by her husband. The FCT Police Public Relations Officer Joseph Ada confirmed that Nwachukwu is in their custody pending conclusion of investigations.
The sudden passing of Nigerian gospel singer Osinachi Nwachukwu has shocked Nigerians and several Africans familiar with her incredible talent. At first, news broke that the 42-year-old married mother of four passed on after battling an undisclosed ailment later reported as throat cancer. However, 24 hours later, a new report surfaced that the renowned singer with a powerful voice, who is known for her biggest hit single, Ekweme, had been on life support in an Abuja hospital for 2 months, fighting for her life after her husband kicked her on the chest during a recent attack. She sadly gave up on Friday, April 8, 2022.
You are my healer, you are my keeper, my restorer, my deliverer.
Osinachi's sudden passing and alleged abusive marriage most of her fans are unaware of has shocked the African Christendom across the globe. This began after her family and close friends started crying out and talking about what really happened. According to them, the singer didn't die of complications but actually from an injury caused by her husband. Osinachi's sister, during an interview, cried out that the husband didn't call the family right away after her demise for several hours. He only attempted to do so on the evening of her passing by calling her younger brother and casually mentioning that his sister had passed away. Before now, we told her that they are not divorcing, that it's just separation, but she felt that God is against divorce. We told her that separation is not a sin, but just for her to stay alive and take care of her children. She will always tell us to relax and that the man will change. After several people who knew the singer personally corroborated what she had been going through in a marriage, her husband, Mr. Peter Nwachukwu, got arrested by the FCT Police Command and was taken in for further investigation on Sunday, April 10th. Who is Osinachi Nwachukwu and why has her sudden passing broken many hearts? Sister Osinachi Nwachukwu, as popularly known, was born a twin on the 12th of November 1979 in Osinachi in Abia State, Nigeria, where she lived and grew up with her twin sister and other siblings of 6 sisters and a brother. Though a very private person, the Black Beauty was a well-known Nigerian singer, minister of God, songwriter, and producer of Christian worship music. She was called a spirit-filled Nigerian gospel artist and songwriter with a voice of fire. Though she sings mainly in the Igbo language, her powerful voice is familiar across Africa. Osinachi shot to fame with her hit single, Ekweme, in 2017, which has been watched 72 million times on YouTube. Right through her career as a gospel singer, she has featured in some popular gospel songs like Nara Ekele by Pastor Paul Eneche, Dunamis Abuja, and Ekweme by Prosper Ochimana and You Know They Use Me Play by Ima. Before her sad death, she was a lead singer at the Dunamis International Gospel Center. According to her sister, Favor, she said her husband, Peter, met her at one of the events where she went for a ministering program and fell in love with a person. Within months, they were married and moved to Abuja. Today, they have 4 children, 3 boys and 1 girl. Peter became a manager and reportedly took charge of how she did things, including a singing career as she gradually shut everyone off. Her sudden passing just a week after she dropped a new song sparked heavy controversies with new claims about the real cause of her death, and all fingers point to her husband, who several reports claimed abused her for several years. Based on this report, close friends and associates suggest that a violent union led to her untimely death. Nigerian Afro highlife praise, worship singer and songwriter Frank Edwards has described the husband of the late gospel singer as a control freak and an abusive husband. The singer, who is also a close colleague, made several shocking revelations a day after her demise. He cried out in pain during an Instagram live video and alleged that the late singer had an abusive husband who regularly brutalized her. He said the singer was secretive about what she was going through in her marriage. Despite all this, she couldn't even tell people what she was going through. I only got to know because Auntie Joy contacted me to promote a song. That was when I got a glimpse into what was happening. Frank Edwards said on several occasions that Osinachi's husband was in the habit of publicly humiliating, insulting and abusing his wife.
My heart is broken, but it's what it is. I just feel like it's too much for one person. The loss that I've had this season, it is too much for one person. So I didn't know why she stayed. So I have heard some people say, why didn't some people speak out on this? It's not like that. If someone cover their marriage, then you can only advise them. You can't bring their own marriage issue to social media. They can sue you. You can't now bring their own marriage issue.
Recounting an encounter with the singer, he said, "One time in a studio, this man slapped her just because he wanted to record the song in Igbo against his will. She does not do anything of her own. She would say, 'Please beg my husband.'" Frank Edwards cried that she was at his mercy and he didn't know the intensity of what she was going through until it ended her. Frank Edwards also recalled one time when someone wanted her to cover an event. He contacted her, but she said, "Beg my husband."
The other time someone wanted me to get her for an event, and then she was she wanted me to say to the husband that the event was free, because if the husband knew that they were going to pay her, she said he was going to collect the money. And I said, this thing is, the control is too much. How do you resolve this thing? How do you resolve? At the end of the day, the person ended up not inviting her. So it's a pity.
The singer also claimed that the control was too much, even to the point of keeping all the money she made from events and appearances.
The truth is, I didn't even know that it has gotten to the point of physical abuse. But what I kept saying is that the control was too much. The control was too much.
Frank Edwards also narrated how the former managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Joy Nune, once gifted the singer a studio in Abuja. Still, her husband never allowed her to use the studio simply because it was built without his permission. "I didn't know how somebody could be jealous of their wife they claim to love," he added. Osinachi's elder sister is also talking and has blamed the husband for the cause of her sister's death. In an interview with Vanguard on April 10th, she said her sister did not die of cancer but rather from an injury she sustained at the hands of her husband. "We told her that separation is not a sin, but just for her to stay alive and take care of our children. She will always tell us to relax, that the man will change. So when the man kicked her in the chest, she fell down and he took her to the hospital, but he did not even tell us." Speaking with Juliet Ume, Miss Favor Made also alleged that her sister was poorly treated by her husband before her untimely death. She revealed that since the singer married Peter, she has never visited their village in Abia State. The only time her husband allowed her to visit was in 2017 during her father's burial. Her sister claims that her husband doesn't allow any of her family members to visit their Abuja home ever since she got married. Miss Favor also revealed that according to doctor's report, her sister passed away due to a cluster of blood in her chest, which developed from the kicking she allegedly got from her husband. She said a close friend called Osinachi's twin sister to report her interaction with her husband, who hit her on the chest and took her to the hospital. It was the hitting on the chest that killed her. My brother had to ask the doctor what killed her, and the doctor said that there were clusters of blood clots on her chest. Unfortunately, they did not tell the doctor she was kicked on the chest because the doctor could have known what to do if he knew what happened. She cried. Looking at the sister's marriage, she added, "Each time we talked to her, she would be pleading for peace, and if we moved to act, she would tell us no, that we should calm down." Narrating the singer's twin sister's toxic encounter with Peter when she visited her at the Abuja hospital days before her passing, Favor said, Osinachi has a very soft heart. Even her twin sister is more courageous than her. When her twin sister visited her in a sick bed in the hospital, Nwachukwu didn't allow her to stay with Osinachi. Then Osinachi started begging the husband to allow her sister stay because she was passing through heart pain. The man refused. There, Nwachukwu ordered her out of the hospital. Osinachi then begged the sister to leave for peace sake. Ms. Favor added that her sister's husband, Peter, who is from Nnewi in Anambra State, doesn't have any profession. However, claimed to be her sister's manager, managing all her social media accounts and businesses, managed her gigs, and event money was paid into his own account. He wouldn't take things lightly if her sister didn't comply. He managed her money badly and was unaccountable with her finance and how money was spent. Speaking for justice, Edward said Mrs. Nune, a lawyer, has promised to take up legal actions against Mr. Nwachukwu and he will see that she gets justice. The gospel singer also advised women in abusive marriage to take a long walk and return to their parents' homes. I am not a married man, but I cannot advise anyone to stay where they have been physically abused. You might not get a divorce immediately. Just leave to save your life. The new revelation and circumstances surrounding Osinachi's death have sparked several reactions from Nigerians and everyone who knows her music across Africa. The Lugbe Police Division finally arrested Mr. Peter Nwachukwu on Sunday, April 10, after the younger brother of the late singer reported a case of suspected homicide to the police. According to Osinachi's family, after several people who knew her personally all cried about their abusive relationships, her husband got arrested on suspected culpable homicide, and an investigation into the matter began. What do you think about the story of renowned gospel singer Osinachi? Based on all the allegations, do you think her husband sent her to an early grave?
I'm talking about of personal experience now. Now it is on both sides. Yes. Once your happiness is going to be compromised, once you see that, look for the rest of your life, that this is becoming toxic and this is becoming abusive. But because of religion, because of what people will say, a lot of people will stay in there and look at this sister, she had to pay with her life.
I think people who, let me speak as a Christian, I think people who use such as an excuse are either ignorant or mischievous. After the fall in the garden, if you look at the Bible, God told the woman that your desire shall be after your husband. And I've never seen any woman whose desire is for the husband to be battering her. I've never seen it anywhere. Then the man is expected to take care of his family. And there are qualifications that even in the church, if a man wants to take a position, the Bible spells out the qualifications, the character traits the man has to have. And none of it includes he should be a wife batterer or he should maltreat his wife. It's not there. In fact, where it even talks about the qualification for a deacon, he says he should be able to take care of his house. And then again, another place says a man who can take care of his wife is worse than an unbeliever. So now, a man who batters his wife cannot be said to be somebody who is serving God. So if ministers of the gospel, maybe for fear of maybe losing members, or for fear of maybe losing,
now she's a gospel artist.
Even the church where she was ministering has not said anything.
That if she leaves this man,
no, if you go on
Twitter, might not be calling her for administration because she's a divorcee, or the perception and the opinion of what Christians will say.
The Jew of the church and his wife, they tweet regularly, but on this they have been silent even up till now. So what example are they trying to show? So it even shows that the woman had no solid support base. You've read the interview a newspaper had with the eldest sister, where it looked like the man told them, was said to have told them that they couldn't do anything to him. I think, I'm happy. Unfortunately, the woman died, but this thing took place in the FCT. And the FCT was the first to adopt the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. So it's clear, the police have their work cut out. Once they're able to establish culpability on the part of the man, the VAPP should be applied speedily so that the family will get justice.
We have to leave all our dogmas, those things that they used to tell us and everything. They are not in conformity with today's reality.
Yes.
you know, our mothers, they used to survive the battery of our fathers.
Our parents, our mothers were much more submissive. Some of the social issues that we have now were not there. The pressures that people go through, that couples go through now, were not there. In those days, you are a graduate, companies are in competition
to employ you. So economic reason is not the issue.
A lot of families are in distress now. A lot of marriages are under threat now because of social problems, issues of he does not have a job to do, this and that. I know someone. I know a woman who harassed his husband or her husband emotionally and physically at a time when he didn't have a job, and that man invariably. The woman was behaving the way she liked. Go home, go out. You will not even tell him anything. The way, when you lose your job as a man, the way you get spoken to even changes. You are now treated like a leper. You are treated like a sweet wrap on the floor with no value. So
you are not in charge.
You are not in charge.
Financially.
You are not in charge. At a point, your wife could even tell you to go and take the job of a megad. Just so that you have a job. When that friend of ours eventually now got another job, he had no choice to move out. He was just waiting for that opportunity. He said, if my wife could be this terrible in my time of adversity, then I have no reason to remain with her for the rest of my life. And that was the end of the marriage. That was the end of the marriage. So, a lot of things happen these days. For me, look at the young man that was killed by the wife, the one that even posted it on Facebook. Say, I survived. He said, I survived an attack by my wife.
The first night,
instead of him to move out of that house, take to his heels, he slept there. The same woman went back. The woman stabbed him repeatedly until he killed him. Why must you wait until you get killed? When you get killed, it's your children that will suffer. In our world today, people have their own issues. They will not take care of those children for you. You see those children moving from one point to another, and people denying them help. So people have to use their head. Use your head beyond what you are told, either in your church or in the mosque. Use your head. Is it commonsensical to behave in this way? If it's not commonsensical, then you get out. The sister was narrating how they were traveling and the man was overspeeding, and the wife said, this overspeeding, reduce this speed now. He replied with a slap. This same man.
For such
if all of those things are
popular woman,
Madunagu, if this what we had read about this guy were to be the truth,
a lot of things left much to be desired.
Then his case should be handled expeditiously, and the law of the land should be visited on him.
The children should even be taken away from him.
All right.